So is it near your mouth then? Do you want to just...
It's near my mouth.
It is.
You're making me blush.
That's great.
Everybody's got giggles.
I'm so happy that you're blushing because it's near your mouth. We are talking about the microphone, and this is Hotspur Way, Season 1, Episode 21. So welcome Hannah, Perchy, and Johnny. Ross is taking a well-deserved break because he keeps appearing on Spooky's podcast. And when Spooky asked him, like, who do you listen to and whatever, he didn't even mention us, his own podcast. He mentioned Flav, and he mentioned I can't do his voice, but he mentioned what's his name, to Trunk Jack. He goes, yeah, to Trunk's like really helping me out with my account. What are the bollocks? What are we doing? You've at least, Ross, you've gained at least 3 followers since you've been on this podcast, okay?
He's gained followers and a love interest, for Christ's sake. What the fuck?
And a love interest. He took a girl out. He took a girl out in Slough, and she's still with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Hell, I think you become second fiddle to Flav at this point in Ross's life.
Well. So we are recording. I'm in Cyprus, and it's 7 minutes past midnight. So we're recording a day after we should be recording. And the rest of you, I mean, I'm in the future. The rest of you are in the past, so it's all right. It's not midnight yet. So we played Villa, and my thoughts on that game are what the running orders say, and I'll read them out. Villa, Cash, fouls. But the thing that I need to say, and it was Perchy, I think, that said it on the WhatsApp group. In that first half, we played the best football of the season. I think, anyway. Hannah, you were there.
I was. I completely agree with you as well. I went into that not feeling too good about it, as you know. But the atmosphere was really, really good. And yeah, you're right. That first half hour was sensational. And then, tears. And the atmosphere changed a little bit.
It did, right? I mean...
It did.
So Johnny in Detroit even said, is it gone a bit flat? I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it had, right? I mean, you could really tell. Sorry, I've got a cat. I've got a kitten called Shishi. I'm a Shisha fan, and she's about to jump on my desk. Get lost. I mean, it's the only time I don't want. I know, but it's the only time I just don't want some pussy. Get off! No, go away. Right.
Amazing.
Okay. Sorry.
Is that how you do it?
Unbelievable.
I love it that Perch has started already, and the funniest thing is he's not even seen the questions for this week.
I'm not ready for it.
I know, mate. What is it with your snap, crackle, and pop mic? I mean, we got
what are you on about?
Mic. Your mic snap. It's like snap, crackle, and pop.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
A little bit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
no, she get lost.
Unbelievable. Should we talk about the game?
Yeah, mate. You crack on. I'm about to fall asleep. You go on.
As I said, the first, as I mentioned in the group chat, you kindly mentioned, I said some of the best football I've seen us play for a very, very long time, not just this season, but it all kind of... What's that noise?
Someone's trying to. I don't know. They've got an ASMR. They've got an ASMR like keyboard thing going on.
This is all what is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when we record late. I mean,
we're professionals. We're professionals.
We are professionals. It's like someone just got a little bit excited with my analysis. It's like, all right.
So Johnny's bunking off work and he's typing all about sending something on Teams. Clearly,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't me. I promise.
Oh, so it's hold on a minute. So it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It's not the cat. It's
Hannah. What are you up to? I'm
on my bed drinking wine.
Oh.
It makes sense.
You knew that though.
That makes absolute sense. Do you want me just to? I'll carry on with my analysis and see if you enjoy it. So as I said, first half now I thought we were outstanding. I thought Villa didn't have an answer to us. I liked the change. I asked for a bit of a change because we were awful against Wolves. Like it was one of the worst. That was really bad. and then Bentancur got injured, and then it all unravelled. Yeah, I thought as soon as he got injured, it all changed. I was impressed with Kulu down the middle, and then second half, I have to question the sub of Skip. Made no sense to me. He put Kulu back on the right, which he's ineffective. Johnson on the left, ineffective. And then I felt it coming. At 1-1, second half, I felt it coming. But yeah, I'm worried the fact that when we are in the ascendancy, we struggle to score goals. And you could argue, well, that's because we haven't got James Maddison, but I do worry a lot about us in that final third. When we're at our pomp and we're playing as well as we did in that first half an hour, the fact we came out with one goal after it was not good enough in the sense of a finishing standpoint, because for me, we could have been 3-0 up in half an hour, and we could have scored 3. But by the way, Villa had some chances as well. Villa missed a couple of absolute sitters as well. But yeah, and then it just felt second off. The problem is we've kind of allowed the game plan for other teams to play against us now. Look, contain Spurs for half an hour, 40 minutes, and then by the 60th minute, they'll tire and you'll get at them. And you saw that. Look, we were knackered by 60 minutes into the game, and we were easy pickings because Villa, minute after minute, just got more and more into the game, and yeah, the inevitable was going to happen, I thought, in that second half.
And it did, and then it got worse because Matty Cash decided to do what he always does. Oh, I tell you, and we've heard the news, right? I mean, is it confirmed about Bentancur?
Yeah, he's out for Bentancur's out for 10 weeks, 3 months.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Listen. If you want, I'll go. People have gone crazy about it, but this is the same fan base that sits there and hypes up Christian Romero for doing exactly the same thing. We can't sit there and criticise him.
He doesn't, mate.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Romero.
Who has he injured? Who is he injured?
They've been out for months.
So basically, what we're saying is we're having a go because he got injured, right?
You just said exactly the same thing. I mean, we're using your words.
Yeah, but of course it is. Romero flies into tackles against people, and we applaud it.
Yeah, but he doesn't do exactly the same thing.
So,
he's not injuring
of course he does.
for months.
But let's be fair. When we talk about injuries aren't we can't base this all on an injury. So we're sitting there saying we wouldn't be talking about it if Bentancur didn't get injured, because I didn't think I thought it was late. I thought it was a bad tackle, but everyone's going on like he tried to break his leg. It was a bad tackle, and he tried to get the ball. Let's be fair. Romero against Chelsea could have easily broken Enzo Fernandez's leg if it wasn't planted.
But he got sent off.
Yeah. No.
He got the ball.
He didn't break his leg.
And he didn't break his leg.
But that's got nothing to do with Matty Cash. That's the referee. We can't blame a player for not getting sent off for whatever. Like, I'll be honest, I thought it was a late challenge. I thought it is what it is. The player gets injured. That's a travesty and unlucky. But we can't. I think Spurs fans need to be. We have to be fair here. When we all applaud players flying in and we love the players' passion, and then get annoyed when it happens to us. As I said, Romero does it all the time. He clatters players. He tackles rashly and all that. But then we applaud it, going, we love that sort of passion. But
we do.
If that was, hear me out. If that was Romero, flip it for a second, injuring someone, doesn't get sent off. We're sitting there going, we love that about him. We love that about him. We're not sitting there going,
I personally wouldn't.
I'm not saying.
Well, I mean,
I'm talking about the fan base as all. Like, I just think. Listen, I think Matty Cash. He's one of those. You could, if you want to put him in the reckless category. I'm not going to die on the hill about it, but you can if you want to. But we can't have it both ways, is what I say. I think Spurs fans. I see the same Spurs fans that love what Romero does are the same people going, Matty Cash is a disgrace. I said, well, hang on a minute.
Really? No, I don't think so. After the Chelsea game, no, I'm going to finish. After the Chelsea game, I saw so much venom directed towards Romero. because the fan base
From our
was
own fan
furious.
base.
Yeah, they said that he
Perchy.
was the reason that we fucking lost the game, is what they'd say.
And he's still being blamed now. Like, that's when the wheels fell off. So I don't think that's the same fan base that I've seen.
No,
Exactly. And there's previous, by the way.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not talking about collective fan base. I'm talking about the ones that sit. That listen. I'm not saying everyone. My point is the ones that sit there and go, "I love the passion what Romero does. I love that passion." And now the same people. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about specifics here. In the sense, are the same ones going, "It's a disgrace what Matty Cash done. He's a disgrace. He should have been sent off." And I went, "Hang on a minute. Whoa. We can't have it both ways."
But you can, and we are.
You can't.
So, I'll explain. I'll explain. I can explain, right? So thank God I'm writing a book on critical thinking, right? So here we go. Number one, you said that it's exactly the same. I don't remember Romero injuring a player of Aston Villa player. Let me finish. I'm going to finish as well because Hannah did finish, and it's my turn now.
Can't use it. Yeah, but you can't use the injury as an example.
Yeah,
is my point.
But you said exactly the same. So I have to go with what you said, right? So he hasn't injured a Villa player last season. He hasn't done it this season, and yeah, he gets his comeuppance when he does stupid things. Okay, but what Matty Cash does for me, I mean, when he did it to Doherty, you say, okay, we all hated him at that point, but then you don't think he's actually going to do it again, and he does. Do you know what I mean? And this is the problem, that he went out to injure a player, and if it doesn't matter, you can say but you shouldn't look at it in slow motion. Well, that's how I'm looking at it, and I looked at it in standard speed as well when he was out there to injure a player. And it's now getting to the point where I don't seem to understand, because he was endangering a fellow professional, and that's just not on. Do you know what I mean? It's really not on.
Okay, I get your point, but I'll just flip it for 1 second. If Matty Cash played for Tottenham, we'd have fans absolutely loving what he does. That's all my point. That's all my.
That is 100% correct, Perchy. And let me jump in here. Let me jump in here. Hold on.
Come on, Johnny.
My point is that what I was going to say is that there is a sense of tribalism and group mentality and herd mentality when it comes to all sports. And that's what makes sports great. That's why we fucking hate the scum, and that's why we hate fucking Chelsea, and that's why they hate us. That's what it is, right? If he played for us, we'd love him. If Romero didn't play for us, we'd fucking hate his guts.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He plays for us. And that's the way it is. That's the way it's always going to be, because it's a sport. That's what it is.
Yeah, but John, I get that. But
if everybody had that even mentality where they could be able to say, well, if he didn't play for us, or it would be a very boring sport. All sports would be boring, because there wouldn't be that arguing back and forth. There wouldn't be that, it'd be a gentleman's game, and they'd be out there just, being nice to each other. And that's not the way it is.
But I live in the world of hypocrisy, and I don't live. I try not to be, in a sense. I'm not calling you one, but I'm just saying I don't live in the world of hypocrisy of, well, I can't sit there and justify A, but then disregard B, right? I try and look at things relatively balanced in the Eyesville, because I watch it all. I commentate on football a lot. Obviously, I do shows every single day about football and stuff. So if I sit there and they will go, well, hang on a minute, you're the one that sits there and goes, you love what Romero does, but now you're trying to castrate another player. Like for me, I only because that's who I am, right? This is the way I am in the sense of it all. I can't justify it to myself to sit there and go, you're amazing, but you're not, but you do exactly the same things.
That's the tribalism of it, though, Perchy.
Right.
And you don't have to be devil's advocate for other teams. You don't have to.
Well, it's not being devil's advocate for other teams. My point is like, we can't sit there and say A is right and B is wrong when they do the same thing. Like that. Just, I don't live in that world. I haven't been that person in my life. I can't be that guy. I can't. Well, you're amazing, and then you're not.
If we could reset and say if we could go back in time and let's say Romero took out two players of the same team, would we be upset with him? I mean, would we feel bad and we'd be like, oh, man.
If Romero got sent off...
If Romero injured two players of the other team and didn't get sent off, because I don't think Cunty Cash got sent off either when he took out Doherty or when he took out... Well, obviously he didn't get sent off.
He got a second yellow card, I think, against Doherty, if I'm right in saying. But listen, look, we look at the tackle. It was a bad tackle, but he hasn't tried to take a player out. He's tried to win the ball. He's just mistimed it big time.
No. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You've got to. If you look at the entire replay of at least 3 seconds before, you watch him looking at Bentancur, and you can see it in his eyes. I'm going for him. I'm going for him. And you can see it, mate. Okay? He's not. He's gone out there to injure him. 100%. He has done that to either to buy his team an advantage. Well, that's the only thing. I mean, he's not gone out to buy him a drink, is he? But that's what he's gone to do. And so, yeah, you've got to look at the entire thing. He has gone out there to injure that player, and he's a fellow professional. You know, he's a colleague.
But that's what I'm. But that ties around. Okay, if that's your position, then we can't sit there and glorify players for doing exactly the same thing. We can't. It's
not exactly the same.
Of course it is. I've seen Romero take out fellow professionals and do exactly that.
Who has he taken? Other than his kid? No, other than his kid, who has he actually taken out that's got injured?
Oh, I'm not being funny. Look at the tackle on Enzo Fernandez. It's absolutely disgusting. It's worse than what Matty Cash done.
He got sent off, and Enzo Fernandez continued to play.
And he's been banned for 3 games.
Yeah, but that's my point. That's literally my point. I'm not talking about Cash being sent off. That's got nothing to do with Matty Cash.
But our fan base were furious with Romero for doing that because he's now mystery.
Not all of them.
I don't know what you're looking at then.
The amount of people that I've seen try to justify, we didn't mean it. It shouldn't be a red card. It was one of the worst tackles I've ever seen this season. It was horrible. And I see so many people that come at me because I'm quite level-headed. I'm quite balanced with it all. Like people go, "Oh, you don't support Spurs." Well, I do, but I try.
Definitely humble.
I mean, I did call somebody "I am a god" the other day, and I said, "I know I am good," is what I meant to say, but I did say I am still a god. But I'm joking. I'm not. It was just a joke.
It's okay. You didn't need to clarify.
Behave. No, but I just sit back and go, we can't justify someone else's bad behaviour because they play for us. Otherwise, we live in this world of it's just all fan bias. Basically, we're the greatest. Everyone else is terrible, and we can't sit back and go, hang on a minute. I can't. That can't be right. That's not right.
Maybe it's just Matty Cash that we just don't like because I've just seen that he didn't even get a yellow for that tackle on Doherty.
But we can't blame the player for the yellow card. That's not if we thought he should have been sent off or not. That's got nothing to do with the player. That's the refereeing. Right, we have to make sure that's right. We can blame Matty Cash for the foul and injuring Bentancur. Fine, that's cool. But you can't blame him for not being sent off. That's not his decision. That's not his decision.
Then you can't blame the fan base for not being frustrated.
Yeah, you can be frustrated, but you've got angle your frustration at the right person. You can angle it a bit for injuring the player. No, because
I'm angry it happened.
How does the referee then get absolutely scot-free from not sending him off then? You can't have it.
You just did that though. You said it's not the ref's fault.
I didn't say it's not the ref's fault. I said it's not.
You said don't blame the ref for Matty Cash not getting sent off.
No. I said you can't blame Matty Cash for not being sent off. You have to blame the referee. Everyone's going, it's Matty Cash's fault. He should have been sent off. Yeah, but that's not his fault.
I'm talking about the level of frustration that the fans are feeling at the fact that player has done it again to one of our players, and once again has almost got away with it. So we're allowed to feel aggrieved by that.
Yeah, but
Romero's tackle, he got sent off, and we have lost him for 3 games.
I've
and
seen
he has
so
been
many
blamed.
of Romero's
Perchy,
that he's got away
I think
with
I am still talking. The fan base were livid with him for being sent off. They are furious with him from what I saw because they are blaming him for our season falling apart. So I don't think it is the same thing.
It's not.
I don't think we are being hypocritical.
No, we're not.
I think you are trying very hard to be devil's advocate when you really don't need to be.
No.
Perchy, can I just say
Mate, let me just clarify my position here. I'm not being devil's advocate. I'm not doing it on purpose. I mean it in the sense of blaming Romero's fine. I get that. But let's be fair. Romero got away with one just before in that as well. He kicked out a player, which he shouldn't do. That is a... But my position here on this is I'm not talking about... When I say people being hypocrites, I'm not saying you guys. I'm talking about people that sit back and justify what Romero does. I'm not saying you guys are. justify what Romero does and then equally being angry at what Matty Cash done, that's being hypocritical. I'm not saying you guys are. That's not my position. My position is on people that sit there and go, I love what Romero does. I think it's brilliant. I love his passion. And then get angry at what Matty Cash done, which was exactly the same as what Romero does majority of a season. He did it all last season.
I know, but so I'll ask you this question. And I know that you're sort of qualifying your position by saying you're aiming your anger at a certain minority because trust me, the majority. Let me finish. The majority were disgusted with Romero. So I'll ask you this question.
I know they are.
Fix your snap, crackle, and put microphone because it's doing my fucking head in. So listen, was Romero punished for that tackle?
Yeah, and rightly so.
Right, and was the team punished?
Well, yeah. I mean, the team get punished collectively.
They're all rhetorical questions. I mean, the answer is yes. Was Matty Cash punished?
I mean, for the first one he was, not the second one.
For that tackle on Bentancur, the one that has now
No,
put him out
I mean
for 10
that
weeks.
one he didn't get a booking for that.
So one final question: is it exactly the same?
The tackle itself is, yeah. not the punishment's not, but that's not on the player is my position.
I'll ask the question again: is it exactly the same?
Yeah, the tackle is exactly
I'm
the
not
same.
talking about the tackle. I'm talking about
The outcome.
Yeah, is it exactly the same?
The outcome. Well, no, the outcome's not.
There you go. Right, so let's move on. So let's talk about fouls because I didn't spot the one on I'm going to call him Brian, right? I'm going to be down with the kids and call him Brian because I'm not going to do the Spanish accent thing. I know that Perchy, you can do it. I didn't see that until Twitter. Thank God for Twitter. Did any of you see it when it happened at the beginning of the game?
You're talking about the feisty elbow to the head, right?
What, the elbow?
Oh, I didn't see that in the
What,
game.
when
I saw
VAR
it
wasn't
after.
working?
Yeah, how
it was correct. Yep.
Yeah, but did you see that during the game?
The U.S. broadcast did replay it a little bit, and I saw it, but it wasn't. They didn't make any spectacle. They didn't really talk about it very much.
Right, and then we have the Kulusevski one, which you can argue that it wasn't a penalty. You can, but you know what? On the first game of the season against Brentford, did Son's tackle, or not really a tackle, on I can't remember the guy's name, which caused the penalty? Which one was worse? And let's be balanced on this. Which one? Who's typing an essay?
It's Hannah again. I bet.
Is it Hannah?
It's not me. Trust me, I'm not typing. I can't type right now.
So do you remember that? Do you remember the foul that Sonny apparently?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Which one was worse? The one that Sonny did, or this one the other day? Now, obviously, I mean, again, rhetorical because the one on Kulusevski was worse. The thing that is the biggest problem with refs nowadays is the inconsistencies, and we can have not just one podcast. I think a few of them on here talking about this, and until they either scrap VAR and get the refs to perform at a much higher level, or what they do is, and I think that we're probably there right now with regards to AI. So have you lot heard some of this stuff about AI?
What's this?
So what you can do with AI now is what AI can do, and this is in a split second, is it can be trained over a course of a season. So what it would do, for instance, is you would feed in every single Premier League game, and every what it would do is every let's say tricky decision, such as the Kulusevski one and the one that was done against Son when Brentford scored that penalty, and every other thing, what you do is you then say, well, this and this are likeable, but the difference is, and then you set a set of rules for AI, and what it would do is you say, well, this one isn't a penalty, and this one is, and then over time, over the course of a season, it would learn. Maybe you would need to give it 2 seasons to learn, and then in the 3rd season, you'd introduce it. I like the old-fashioned approach. I like just having a ref, and if he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. and it is what it is. I was all for VAR when it came out. I think the goal line technology is good, but I'm not a fan of everything else that's happening. I've got a feeling that sooner or later you're going to have a manager quit who just says this isn't the game that I signed up for, and it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to say, yeah, but they earn too much money. Well, they've all got more money than sense right now, so it doesn't really matter. And it's the enjoyment of the game has been taken out of it. I'm not going to go into it because we didn't even have the VAR or part of it working, right? That's what we were told, that part of it wasn't even working. So we're not going to go into it now. But there were fouls committed against our players, and they weren't given. We haven't had a penalty all season. Are we the only team in the Premier League to not have a penalty?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So, what did you think of that lineup when you first? Johnny, let's go to Johnny first. What did you think,
Johnny,
mate?
The Villa for Villa.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was I guess I was kind of with Perchy that the second half changes were I wouldn't say bad. I just didn't know what he was thinking. However, it's Big Ange, so I'll let him do his thing. Who knows? Maybe he was just trying out something new. He said, give me a couple of years, and that's what I'm doing in my head. So, other than that, I think I'm behind him. But
Johnny, no centre backs. Now, this is me playing devil's advocate because I'm fully on board with Ange. He can do whatever he wants. He could put me and Hannah in defence, and I'll be fine with it. It's not an issue.
Sure. I mean, I think he's just all out attacking, right? He's like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's beat our heads against the wall and see how many we can score. And if we score more than them, we win, right? It doesn't matter if we give up 10 goals, because if we score 11, we win. Yay! That's great. Do it. Fuck it.
Hannah, what do you think, mate?
What, the lineup?
Yeah, so you were in the stadium. You saw the lineup before you got there, or?
Yeah, I was in the pub first. We were all really excited by it, to be honest. We weren't really expecting it in a way, but it was all-out attack and felt pretty good about it. And to be honest, the first 30 minutes, you could kind of see why he'd done it, because it was working. Mm-hmm. It was brilliant to watch. But yeah, agree with what was said. Don't necessarily understand the substitutes, but yeah, in Ange we trust.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I think the first 10 minutes of that match was probably the most exciting 10 minutes of a match that I've seen in a long time. A long time.
Heart attack. Couldn't take it at one point.
You were telling us that, weren't you, on the group? Was. Like, you were saying, oh yeah, like, if you see my heart, let me know.
I told you a lot of things in that group that night.
Yeah, we won't mention them on here.
No.
And,
maybe the things I said about Matty Cash, maybe.
Don't you have his penis around your neck? Didn't you? Didn't you meet him?
It's just hanging there like a ket spoon.
Perchy, what did you think, mate? Were you doing a watch-along thing?
I did a watch-along for the game. Yeah, no, listen, I thought I was impressed with the lineup, because I just thought, do you know what? I've been asking for him to shuffle it up, because Kulu on the right doesn't work, Johnson on the left doesn't work. So I like the fact that he put and just gambled a little bit. Kulu down the middle works much better than he does elsewhere. I thought Lo Celso had a good game coming in, so I was quietly impressed with him. I thought I said that team selection was good. First half now was brilliant. When he made the subs in the second half, I just sit back and go, we talk about a manager that wants to go attack and go for it, but then he brings on Oliver Skip, and you're going, oh man, like, come on, chuck a youngster on here now. We're losing the game, and then he reverts back to Kulu on the right, Johnson on the left, and they're just so ineffective on those positions. I like Kulu down the middle. I was so impressed him down the middle. I thought, this is the best I've seen him play all season.
Yeah, he was great. He was great there.
He was. He was in a position which he's useful. Playing him on the right isn't useful because he gets taken out of the game way too easily. Played him in the middle. He linked up so well with Lo Celso. I thought them two linked up really well, and I thought Brian Hill's starting was quite interesting. I thought he was good until the end product. His end product was non-existent. But listen, that can go down to one of two things. He's not very good, or he's a little bit rusty. He hasn't played a lot of football, so it can go down one of two ways. But yeah, like the centre halves. Listen, I get it. At least he didn't put Eric Dyer in, so I've got to respect him for not putting Eric Dyer in. But then he did put Emerson Royale in, who's awful. So like, it is what it is. I mean, you're dealt the hand you get because we've got so many injuries and so many guys out suspended. So it is what it is. But it is what it is. I didn't think we'd win, but I thought we probably could have got something out of the game by the end of it if we just hung in there.
So there are two questions, right? One of them is going to come from Johnny to you, and the other one is from me, right? You play the hand that you're dealt with, right? And at the beginning of the season, everyone was lauding and praising Ange on his substitutions. The thing is, he doesn't have now, if you include the 5 players that we lost at Chelsea, and he didn't have Bissouma, and he didn't have Sarr, I mean, slim pickings, right? And so he needed to make a change. And the reason why, maybe some of you don't know this, I didn't know it until a few seasons ago, but the players have this sports scientist team that are there, a bunch of analysts, and they will view during the week on how the players are performing, and then during the game there are certain zones that their bodies go into, and if they need to be taken off as a precaution, then they're going to be taken off. And if Ange doesn't really have a lot of ingredients to work with, then you're not going to expect a great substitution cake, right? And so it is sort of what it is. Do you know what I mean? And that's how you have to view it. It's not like he had such a massive selection. He decided to bring on the players that he did. I'm sure that there are reasons behind it, because we are talking about a guy who is extremely intelligent and he knows what he's doing. So based on that evidence, I'm sort of like letting him off on the subs, even though at the time I was like, really? Is that what you're doing? What you're going with? So Johnny, over to you, mate. You can fire over the first question.
All right, so we got four good questions. 2 of them have to do with Matty Cash, so we'll kind of table those for now. The last one has to do with Hannah, and so we'll go with number 4. This is more of a football question, just to make sure Perchy doesn't fall asleep. This is from Charlie in St. Louis, here in the good old US of A. At this point in the season, who has been each person's unsung hero, our scapegoat, our overrated disappointment, and our savior? Unsung hero, scapegoat, disappointment, and savior.
Unsung hero, scapegoat, disappointment, and what was the last one?
Savior.
Savior, Vicario, unsung hero, unsung hero.
Poro.
Yeah.
Who's Porro now?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
not for me. Who's? What was the other points on there?
Scapegoat and scapegoat and overrated disappointment. Overrated disappointment and scapegoat.
Overrated. I'll put Pedro Porro in there.
Oh,
what?
I'm putting Pedro.
Breaking my heart.
I think Pedro Porro defensively is woeful. Going forward, he's good, by the way. I think going forward, he's brilliant.
Woeful's a big word.
Defensively woeful.
Woeful's a big word, mate.
Unsung hero, I'll put a doggy in there. He's not really an unsung hero, but I'm putting him in there because he's a young kid.
Okay.
And what was the other one I missed? There was one
Scapegoat.
I missed. Scapegoat. But when you say scapegoat, is that my scapegoat or?
Yeah.
I don't really have
of course.
scapegoat.
Of course, it's for if you don't have one, that's you can always bow
I don't
out
necessarily
just because
scapegoat,
you
but I'll put Emerson Royale because he's absolutely awful. I mean, but he's not really a scapegoat because he is crap.
The scapegoat would mean you're making him feel he's responsible for a lot.
Right.
Of
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I scapegoat anyone. I think I have a very balanced view on it all.
You like to say that.
I do.
You just called Emerson
you
Royale
do, or you
absolute
like to say
crap.
Yeah, but come on, he's an awful player. He's awful.
Man. Heart means a lot to me,
Come
Perchy.
on, if he played for Arsenal, we'd all be laughing at him. Like he's awful.
So do you know what scapegoat means? I was googled it, which is interesting.
Yeah, scapegoat is someone that you pin it, but that's what I mean.
No. But do you know where it comes from? The word is quite interesting.
Oh, I haven't got a clue.
So back in the day, when people were going to make a sacrifice, it was the goat that they would basically go, "Yeah, you're the one. I'm
So
gonna
who could
kill
that
you
be this season?
Yeah,
Who
I'm
could
gonna
that possibly be.
I'm gonna kill you because my God wants me to kill you. So yeah, who would that be then?
I think everybody kind of sees it probably in the public eye that everybody's blaming Romero right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
because
he's not- no, 'cause I wouldn't
exact.
blame-
He's exact like Matty Cash.
Yeah, but I would no, but I wouldn't. Yeah, but I wouldn't blame Romero. I don't. No, but I wouldn't blame Romero though, because I think he's been relatively okay. I mean, he is
Perchy?
an absolute liability at times, but he's
Perch?
been good.
Perch, would you swap Romero for Matty Cash
No, because they play different positions.
if they played in the same position?
Uh,
You have to think
I
about
don't-
it. Let's move
Because they
on.
do exactly the same thing, don't they?
They do.
no,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
no,
it's
no. I'm
exactly-
on about the fact of like clattering people. Like, I'm just thinking, no, I wouldn't. No, probably not. But it can't justify it because they don't play in the same position. It's hard to explain it.
Right. So are we all universal on like?
Excellent.
Like
I think my unsung hero is Porro. I think he's been absolutely
100%.
amazing, and he's not getting a shitload of credit. Even though he's not defensively strong, and he still has made some brilliant. Hold on, Perchy, you talk a lot. He's made some brilliant defensive plays this season.
Passionate. That's why.
Getting spicy on the pod.
Yeah, but I've got stats on
my
Pedro Porro.
my savior is. I'm just going to keep talking over you. My savior
Sorry,
is
Ronaldo.
Madison, of course. Of course, I'd say Madison, just because even though he's out, he's the guy right now.
Actually, that's a good
without
shot.
him,
Yeah, that's fair.
Savior's
But I
Madison.
wouldn't say. Is he really unsung hero though? I thought he is.
That's
no.
true. They're calling him the best signing of the season. He's not an unsung
Yeah, he
hero,
can't be
is
an
he?
unsung hero.
No,
if
he
he's
was
the
my
best
savior.
player.
I said he was my
Oh,
savior.
sorry.
Savior. Apologies.
Savior.
Apologies.
Savior.
Matt, 50% of the podcast aren't even listening. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Scapegoat Romero. Overrated disappointment is probably going to be. Oh man.
Oh, you got to be negative now.
I know.
Try that one.
I'm trying.
Who are you sacrificing to your god?
I'm gonna say Lo Celso. I just don't see it in him. I don't see it in him.
That one is.
No, that's not a
Because
scapegoat. Our
yeah, but
season's
he's
not
hardly-
at fault.
Yeah, but you can't. He's hardly played.
It's not. Again.
He
Perchy,
isn't
we
great.
have two different mentalities when it comes to viewing people on the pitch, and it's great that we do because that's why it's a good pod that we have here.
It
Going.
is true.
You're very mechanical in your stats and everything. I look at their face. I look at what they're doing on the pitch, off ball, on ball. Like
Yeah. No, I get
when
that,
he's
but
when he's
but
off
by
ball, it
saying
looks
that-
like he's ready to set up a cot and go to sleep.
Yeah, but my point, when you say on the pitch though, he hasn't played. I mean, it was the only.
Okay.
I think it's the only game.
That's
he played,
fine.
though.
If I was
I played against
if I
Fulham
was
in the cup as well.
if I was playing if I was a professional athlete like he is, and I wanted to play all the time, but I didn't get the time. However, I got called up one time. Would I give it fucking everything in the world
Yeah,
and
but
leave my
didn't you
testicles
think
on
he
the
had a good
fucking
game?
pitch?
Didn't you-
100%.
Do you think he had a good game on Sunday? I thought he was really.
I'm
good
not
on
saying he
Sunday.
didn't have a good game. He had a good game. He had a good game. But everybody's saying like he's. I think his overall for me he's been overrated, even Sunday included or Saturday, whatever fucking day it was.
Yeah. So does he? I'm completely in agreement with this. Let's ask Hannah this. Hannah, you know when you're at the stadium, right? I'll be there. I think soon, right? But when you're there, like the thing that I love to do is, do you remember you could do it with the red button on Sky, where you could actually do a player watch, and I love to see a player and just watch him for a few minutes. Did you do that to Lo Celso or not?
To be fair, on Sunday, yeah, I did. I thought he was really good, and like Perchy said, him and Kulusevski together.
But off the
thought
ball,
that was-
were you just watching him when the ball wasn't anywhere near him?
I suppose no. But to be honest, you could see him getting tired really quickly. You can tell he doesn't play much, but I thought he was decent.
He was decent. He was.
Totally
I think Højbjerg was toilet.
Oh, he's awful. He's awful.
Yeah.
Should you make Højbjerg our scapegoat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd happily change and put him in. Actually, do you know what? I think he's awful. No, I'm happy with that one.
Right. So we've been going for a while, and we heard. So let's talk about Terry Venables. We heard prior to the game that unfortunately he had passed away, and Hannah, you are 32. right? Is that correct?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I am 32. Thanks for airing that to everyone.
No, you've said it before on the pod. So
I tell everyone at work I'm 28, so I've been sussed.
Right, so you're 28, and that would mean if you're 28, then you wouldn't have remembered Terry Venables, right?
Vaguely.
Really? What, from your dad's testicles? What do you mean? If you're 28, it's impossible. So I mean, look, I remember him really well. Perchy, you're the same age as Hannah, aren't you?
I'm 31.
Right, so you're the baby of the group.
Yes.
John, you were.
Yeah, don't even ask me. That was before my time.
You're 9 years old in Spurs years, right? So,
yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Yeah.
I act like it too, which is great.
That's good. And Ross, he's not here to say it, but I know that Ross would have remembered. He would have remembered till I did. He was the first manager that I remember where I sort of like threw myself sort of into it. It's a bit of a lie, actually. First manager that I did that was with Aussie, but I remember watching the FA Cup run with my brother, and I just remember Terry Venables, and everyone loved him, and so I was a kid, and I loved him too. And when he became the England boss, I thought it was the way that he set England up was so different to the way that Graham Taylor had. I mean, it was chalk and cheese, and just the way that the guy was infectious, and the way that he would have his teams play. I miss him. I'd known that he was ill. He lived out in Spain for a bit. I know people were out there who knew him, and so it was, he was suffering with not just one illness but two, and he wanted to be remembered in a better light, and so that's why you didn't really see too many appearances from him. Did any of you watch the Terry Venables documentary that came out? Was it this year or late last year? If you haven't, get it and watch it. I thought it was great. Obviously, living in Cyprus and pirate all this stuff. So yeah, that's what I did. But the guy was great, and it's sad. It's really sad. He was the last manager to win us an FA Cup. So I mean, that's how long ago that was. Not that FA Cups really mean the same as they did back then, but it'd still be nice if this year we go out and actually do it. So, any other words on Terry? Or am I talking to people who weren't born at the time?
Well, I can say that the tribute was beautiful in the stadium. It was lovely. Very respectful. It was quite emotional as well.
Yeah. Good guy. He was a good egg. Yeah. Good all round. So, what do we have next? Do you want to allow us on another question, Johnny?
Oh, sure. We'll put Hannah in a corner. This is from Maggie in Barley, UK. I have no idea where that's at, but whatever. Thanks, Maggie, for the question. Hannah, how was Ross's quote-unquote performance in Slough? What did he do well? How could he do things better next time?
This is never going to die, is it?
No, it isn't. It isn't. Thanks, Maggie, for the question, though.
I'm gonna clarify something just so Ross doesn't feel uncomfortable. Sadly, me and Ross did not actually go on a date in Slough. I'm sorry, everyone, to disappoint you.
Which town was it in then?
Great response.
Don't hit me like that. I'm not well. You're supposed to be gentle with me today.
Wait, how say you're not well? I'm sure you said you're drinking wine on your bed.
Okay, and?
Yeah, Tuesday.
What's the correlation?
Yeah, good point.
Matty Cash. Go on.
Fuck Matty Cash.
Yeah.
Me and Ross...
Matty Cash is from Slough. Maybe you went on a date with him.
Is he actually?
He is. He actually... I'll give you a little fun fact. He went to school with one of my mates. He went to the same school as my mate.
Huh.
True
Interesting.
story. True story.
Well, that's a good segue into question number 2 from Justin, and I think it's I'm going to slaughter the name of the city in the UK. Chigwell, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Big up Chigwell.
All right.
Up the Essex. Big up.
Before you answer that question, before you read out the question, I can't wait for you to. I think that what's happening is June 26th, you're going to be out in Cyprus, all of you are, right? And then on the way back, Johnny, we're going to stop in London and we're going to show you around.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do, okay? And we're going to take you to Cockermouth.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's right.
I've only been there. I've only been there once in a while.
A while back.
Just my college adventurous days.
Yeah, and we're gonna show you. We'll take you to Chigwell as well. Slough, there's nothing there, so it's no.
Whoa! Don't mock.
Even
Slough.
I'm not there.
I mean, it is a dump, but don't mock it.
Why?
It's a dump.
It's a dump.
Don't mock it.
Yeah, I mean, I literally live around there. So
We
well,
don't
I'm
know,
not
do you?
Windsor. I'm Windsor, but
Oh, don't start.
I am.
from
I
Windsor.
originally am. I mean, I live in Barcelona now, but I do. Usually
Oh my
live in
god, it gets better.
I live in Barcelona.
Barcelona. I do.
Oh boy.
And you're a great cook. We've all seen it, right? So, Johnny, do you wanna read out the question?
All right. From Justin. You are gifted to go back in time to be in the room while Matty Cash's dad is stuffing his mom and just planting the magical seed. What do you do while you're standing in the room?
But this is like killing Hitler before he was born, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
We
I mean,
compare
I would.
Matty Cash to Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
this
maybe.
is getting a bit mad.
I would.
Do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would do? So I would if I knew that I was going to be sent back in time to that room, I would have watched his foul on Doherty. I then would have watched the one on Bentancur. And what I would have done is I would have worn razor blades facing outwards along both of my legs and chopped his dad in half.
Okay, I'd shag his dad instead and throw myself down the stairs.
What? I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Have that on the podcast.
Answer of the day right there.
Wow.
I was just going to whisper sweet nothings into his dad's ear to make him lose his boner. You went a completely different route, Hannah.
You wanted me on
Congratulations.
here, guys.
Yeah, that's
great.
great. I mean, that's fantastic.
Fantastic. What about you, Perchy?
Perchy
No, I don't
would
think-
take Romero's. Perchy would take Romero's
I'll be honest,
semen
I don't think.
and put it in his dad. Well, that's what you would do, right?
Anything else needs to be said.
Because they're the same person, right?
I think we leave it to what Hannah just said. I think that is the prime ending. That's mental, but it's cool. I
Do
respect.
you
it.
survive the tumble down the stairs, Hannah?
She's
yeah,
here.
I think
Of
because I
course,
can
she's
live with
here.
myself after that.
So,
I don't know if we can make the name of the pod Homemade Abortion, but that would be a great name, wouldn't it?
but I mean, if we could, it would be shagging Matty Cash's dad and throwing myself down the stairs. That would
Yeah.
be, that would be a great
that could
title.
be, yeah.
How about
But
just
no,
FMC?
what it will be, I think maybe it's too long. But does Son take the linesman flag home? Because as Ross said,
Oh, yeah.
he got a hat trick of
Don't get me
offside
started.
goals.
Dear, that's very frustrating.
So we have to talk about it, and that's City. Does anyone want to?
Okay.
We are
Does
going to
anyone-
get
Does anyone want to go first?
obliterated.
There you go. That's been the pod, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you
Yeah,
next
ripped
Tuesday.
apart.
Yeah, like Matty Cash's mum. So
I think we're going to beat him 5-1. 5-1.
I love your optimism.
Yeah, I'd love to know what you're smoking. Honestly, what?
I think without optimism, it's not smoking it; it's injecting it.
That's
So
That's right.
I mean, look, what did they didn't really play a game of football this weekend. Did you watch the game? Did you? I mean, it was like to you, to me, I mean, it was like, do you want to score? No. Well, nor do we. We'll go at it. And I turned it off after a while. I just thought it was too
the
game.
Liverpool Man City game.
Yeah, I didn't.
Really?
I didn't find it.
I thought it was a great game of football.
I know you did, but you also think Ramirez exactly like Matty Cash, so you would say that. But
No, I thought that was really good. I thought the one thing I did say though, Man City though was so wasteful though.
But that's what I mean in that game. It was like they kept saying to Liverpool, "Go on, you can have. You know, we're going to mess this up. You can have a go." That's what I don't know. It was a bit of a weird game for me. What do you think? Let's look before we do predictions. Let's put Matty Cash aside a minute, right? Perch, I'm coming to you. What do you think is going to happen without giving a prediction? What do you think we can do to stop that juggernaut?
What are we gonna do? Oh gosh, listen. I honestly think if we can just keep the score down, it's a result. I'm terrified. That Man City team is so good. Like, you look at them today. I watched them today. 2-0 down to Leipzig, and just click, boom. Phil Foden runs the game, and then they go and win it in the second half. Like it's so easy for them. Like, for me, I find it's terrifyingly easy for them to score goals, and we don't score enough goals. We don't score many goals, so it's horrible. And we can't. We when we tire, if we play this gung ho, free flowing attack football, the Ange ball philosophy, the second half they are going to have us on toast, and that worries me.
But why do you say
Ange
if?
got Plan B?
Why do you say if? Why do you say if we're going to play that way? You know that we are.
No. I'm saying if we play, because I can't predict the future. My point is if we play the way we do, they will eat us an absolute new one. They'll eat us alive. Because Man City will just go, fine, cool. We'll wait until you guys are knackered and we will just run through you. Because Haaland is a different beast. Foden's quality, Doku's quality. Like, I look at Man City and it terrifies me at the moment, the way they play. They're a very, very good football side. And listen, as I said, the question is, has Ange got Plan B? Has he got something in his locker that you go, okay, I'm going to have to change it up here, or I'm going to do something a little bit different? Doesn't have to be pragmatic and boring football, but has he got a plan now to go, okay, I'm going to have to change it up because, listen, I'm just spitballing here. If we lose 6 or 7-0 on Sunday, we can't be coming on here going, oh well, at least it was good. We played the way we like. It could. We don't want to be humiliated, right? It could be. I'm not saying it will be that, but my point is the way that Man City play. If we go toe to toe with them, they could eat us alive.
All right, one minute. I've got a problem with that sentiment. So you talk about stats, you talk about everything else.
I don't always talk about stats.
I know, but you've watched the games. You've got a good channel on YouTube. I've never watched any of your videos, but apparently it's good, right? So no, it's fine. It's a good channel. And why would you say if we get spanked by 7? Why would we get spanked? You're going to probably say the Chelsea game. We were down to 9 men. So if we are down to 9 men, there is a chance, yes, that City could score 7, but I don't think we're going to be down to 9 men because Matty Cash isn't playing for us, right? So if that's the case, he's suspended, right? So if that's the case, why would you say that we would lose? You've watched every game. Why would you say that we would get spanked by 7?
Because I use it on percentages in the sense of, look at the chances we allowed Wolves. Look at the chances we allowed Aston Villa. Man City have got...
Wolves for me doesn't count because...
Why?
It doesn't count because we had a Conte team out. I mean,
but it was exactly... It was relatively a similar team. The back four was relatively the same minus... Eric. I mean, I'm not being funny. There was no big difference between Eric Dyer and Emerson Royale. I mean, they're both awful. My point is that the back four that's going to play, if it's the same one, Porro defensively gets run... the most dribbled past player in the Premier League. That concerns me when you're playing against the likes of Jeremy Doku, who loves running at players. That terrifies me. Udogie, has he got the mental capacity to stay on his feet, not get booked early? Seen him do it a couple of times.
Is Basuma back this week?
Basuma's back, yeah. Ben
Okay.
Davis and Emerson Royale. If that's your back four, let's just spitball it for a second. Then your midfield. Well, we've lost Bentancur, probably at the moment our best midfielder now. Well, with all the injuries, that's concerning. So you look at the midfield. It's going to be a midfield three of what? Højbjerg, Basuma, Kulusevski. I don't know, but my concern is we looked at Aston Villa in that second half walk through us. And yeah, Aston Villa aren't as good as Manchester City. Listen, I'm not suggesting, by the way, that Man City are going to win 7-0. I'm not saying that. But my point is, Man City, though, if they wanted to turn up, if they turned up the Man City that we know, it could be a horror show. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping I'm absolutely wrong. They turn up, they're crap and can't score and we win the game 2-0. I'd love that. Of course I would. They just worry me because they're the team, they're the champions elect that are going to win the league this season.
So does it worry you because of the way we play? So, for instance, whether it was Mourinho, Nuno, or Conte in charge, did it worry you as much when we were playing them as it does now?
Yeah, of course. I play Man City. They're brilliant, but the difference is when you're playing with those pragmatic defensive managers, you always sit back and go, well, look, we're just going to defend for 90 minutes and then hope we'll hit them on the break and we might nick a result. We're not going to play like that. We don't play like that anymore. But
Thank
we're
God.
playing Man. No. I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree. Thank God. But we're going to play Man City at their own game, and this is a Man City team under Pep Guardiola that has done it for years. They've built a squad of absolute incredible football players. We've had a few months with this guy. We've got tons of injuries. I don't understand where the optimism can be. I'm terrified. I'd happily take a 1-0 loss and we just move on with it. I think this is a free hit for us. I think I'm not expecting anything. I'll take any result that's not an absolute humbling. I'll be honest.
All right, Hannah, over to you, mate. What do you think? Bear in mind you have just shagged Matty Cash's down and thrown yourself down the stairs. So.
I'm still recovering. I hate to say it, I'm in agreement with Perchy on this. I just don't want to be completely
Why do you hate to say it?
Because you're supposed to be the villain.
Oh, I'm the bad guy. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
I don't
You
know
are the bad
I don't know
guy.
what I am at this point, or like what my position is here. But yeah.
Does Matty Cash's dad know what your position was?
Oi, banter.
Yeah, I do agree with Perchy. I just don't want to be embarrassed, to be honest. And to be honest with you, I went to the Villa game not feeling good about it, and this is Man City, so.
Okay, but after the game, we're not going to talk about the debacle that happened after the game. We won't talk about that here on the pod. But during, final whistle went, yeah, we lost. But how did you feel still?
Yeah.
I was a bit deflated, but then I thought we played all right.
Yeah, naturally disappointed at the result, I wasn't as gutted as I thought I'd feel because it was still better to watch. It is a work in progress, but Perchy's right. The scoreline could be anything after this game, and
it could be
if it is
anything.
7-0,
it's one of
we
those
can't
that
come
Man
here
City
and say
can
that.
dictate. I think it's one of those Man City can dictate the result whatever they want. If they could, I'm not saying it can happen, but they could go 4-0 up in half an hour and go, do you know what? We'll just shut up shop. We're done here. Game over in half an hour, and we'll just pack up and then it finishes 4-1 or whatever, and we go, oh, we got a consolation, or they go, do you know what? We're going to make a point here, and they could steamroll us. I honestly think this Man City team could walk.
I need to say something, guys. Both of you, more you, Perchy, sound you sound like you've just left St James's Park after last season's absolute smashing, and you're thinking that this can happen again. The players are playing for each other. They're playing for this manager. I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. And yes, you can say, but we just don't have the players, James. And I understand that. I get it. But we are not about to fold. We're not that team anymore. So do I think that we're going to get absolutely smashed? No, I don't. Do I think we're going to lose? I hate to say it. Yes, I do. I don't really see a world where we win. but I don't think we're going to get smashed. And hopefully, like we have shown on a few occasions now, when we die on our feet instead of our knees and on our chins. Okay, and if that happens again, I don't think we'll have another show which says, we're damn proud, because that'll be 4 losses in a row, and the players will be hurting, and everyone will be hurting, and whoever's writing that email will be hurting.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Right. So, I think, like Johnny, we'll come over to you in a minute, but I've seen enough evidence to know that what happened last season at St James's Park won't be happening again. I really don't think it will happen again. And if it does, I will be very surprised and quite upset. And then we'll have an inquest into why that happened on the next pod. But I just don't see it. I don't.
James, can I ask you a question?
Just one minute. Can I just finish?
Oh, go on.
But do I think we're going to lose? And I've repeated myself. Yes, and I'll give you my predictions, John. If you can just go ahead and do the honours. I have been. Oh, great. So I think that we're going to lose by at least 2 goals. I think I don't know if we're going to score. That's the thing. I don't know if we're going to score because we seem to be in a position where either we're trying to walk it in, or we're not as confident as we should be. Like Madison, that the guy who was opening all the locks isn't there, and even with Kulusevski, it's not the same thing. So I don't know if we're going to score. I think we might lose 2. I'm going to say 2-0. Then we're going to lose. What question was it, mate?
No, the question you say. Oh, there's enough evidence to see that we will be competitive in the game, but based on what? We haven't. I don't think we've. When we've played, we don't score enough. We don't score many goals. That was one thing I was told, by the way, that we're going to score loads of goals. We haven't done that all season, by the way. We haven't done that all season. We haven't scored loads of goals, and we leak chances all the time. But the difference is we're playing Man City that will take the majority of the chances that we can see. Like, we can see the chances to Luton Town, by the way, and they're down the bottom, and team that we all thought that we're going to get relegated immediately. But what is the evidence to say that Man City won't take the chances that we've allowed lesser teams, so to speak?
I've watched all 13 games this season.
Yeah, so have I. I've watched every single one. But my point is, what does that base it on, though? Teams that play down the bottom. I mean, we've played the majority of teams down the bottom already.
Right.
No?
Yeah.
But my point is we're talking about teams like that are down the bottom that don't have a goal scorer that scores loads of goals. That we were able to accept opportunities and chances from the likes of Crystal Palace, who aren't a very good side. They don't score many goals. The likes of Luton Town, who are down the bottom. The likes of Burnley, who was probably the only game where we scored more than 2 goals in the season. Like, am I the only one that's a little bit worried that the fact that we don't score many goals, even with our strongest team out?
No, you're right, and that's because Sonny really isn't a number 9, is he? Really?
But it's not just Son though, is it? It's everyone. We don't score many goals around the park. Kulusevski's got a couple.
We don't, and
Johnson scored 1.
Yeah, yeah. So look, it's because of the games that we scored. What I'm talking about is I don't think we're going to be absolutely mullered, because I don't think that this team falls apart. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they feel sorry. I don't think they fall apart against
Villa. We gave up second half. Well, not gave up. Gave up some fair.
I don't think so.
Gave up some fair. But we tied out against Villa as a fair argument. So no, we didn't give up, but we looked knackered in the 60th minute. My point being is when you're that knackered against a Man City, they will absolutely go, do you know what? We'll have these in the second half because we'll just walk through them. The likes of Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva will go. We'll have Emerson Royale on absolute toast.
I agree, and it's down to the manager to make sure that the players have a bit more energy in their legs.
So would you be annoyed if he goes and sits a little bit deeper against Man City?
Yes, 100%.
So
because I can tell you why. No, but I can answer that question.
Here's the point, Jake. No, wait, hang on. I'll counter it. If we keep the score down and we lose 2-0, but he went, do you know what? I'm going to sit 15 yards a little bit deeper. you'd be annoyed with that than him playing on the halfway line and we lose 6-0.
Yeah,
just
so,
hypothetically.
So my local shisha establishment in Limassol is Loft, and I was speaking to the owner. He's a former professional footballer, Steph. And he's a massive Spurs fan, and he asked me. He said, I'm not a fan of if buts and maybes, right? But he said to me, if we had, and Steph is probably listening to this, if we had played a bit deeper and we hadn't been so naive and played such a high line, and we had either got a draw or we had lost by only 2 goals, would you have preferred it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why, but I'm going to tell you, but if buts and maybes, no, what I would rather do is win, because if you're going to say, but would you rather, I'm going to say, I would rather we win. Right, it's the same argument. No, but I can say that because you've said it, John. That's like we're thinking correctly.
No, but you use the argument of a draw, right?
No, but what I'm trying to say is that the reason why I would get super upset is because of the following. So as you know, I've said it loads of times. I'm really proud of it. I've followed Andrew's career. Not all the way from the beginning. You know, when he was an assistant manager at the bank is when I really started to follow his career. I mean, look, I've followed him since Japan. Basically, well, when I say that's a bit of a lie, but I've sort of since Japan, let's say, okay. And he doesn't change his principles. And if he comes to Spurs and all of a sudden he changes his principles, even though I fucking hate that word, how fucking Spursy is that? He ain't gonna do it, and if he does it, then it's like I sort of lose quite a bit of respect for him.
Isn't it Spursy though? I'll use that.
Word.
No. I'll use it for this argument. But isn't it Spursy to just go? Do you know what? I'm going to stick to how I play, even though we get battered 4-0 against Man City. Surely his aim as the manager is to go. Do you know what? I need to tactically get this to get the results right. Listen, by the way, I can answer that question. I'm not expecting, because I love Ange Postecoglou. I think he's the right man for the job. But this is why, for me, is this season's a free hit. I've said it all along. Yeah. As long as we don't get relegated, I'll be fine. I've stood my mast is stood there. But surely isn't it the manager's job to play a system to get the best result possible? No.
So I can. Okay, so you've got a short-term game, medium-term plan, and you've got long-term thinking. Okay, and if you're going to say, listen, I am just going to play it this way to try and get that result here, or to try and lessen the blow, but what that does is it hampers the way that the entire team ethos is built, then that's absolutely wrong. If you are a manager that says, this is how we play, we are going to be super pragmatic, we're going to do it this way, and they stick to their guns like Conte did, love him or hate him, right? That's the way he played, and even though he was saying, I'm not telling the players to do this, fuck off, stupid football terrorist, right? So, yes, that's the way that he played, and now we have a manager that is, I wouldn't say the opposite of that, because the guy is not an idiot. Ange isn't an idiot. He doesn't say to him, listen, guys, you know what I want you to do. No, but just let me get my point across. Listen, guys, what I want you to do is you keep going at it. If we're 15-0 down, you just keep going at it. Number one, let's not be 15-0 down. Right, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Let's not be 5 or 6 down, please. Let's make sure that we're not that, and we're not going to be down those goals if you do what I say. So if we press here and we follow this strategy, then we can't be down by that many goals. It doesn't matter who we're playing. Okay? And so I would much rather our manager stick to his guns and then the entire team follow that through, rather than saying, well, for this game, because I don't want to lose by 5, I'm going to ask them to sit back. Because if we're going to do if buts and maybes, let me finish. If we're going to do if buts and maybes, I can say to you, you know what if we start to play a little pragmatically, the players aren't used to it, and they go, what the fuck is this? This is exactly opposite of what this guy has been preaching to us. And they drop their heads and we lose by 7. It's because if anyone else can say, well, what if, I can also do it. So I would much rather go on the evidence we've seen and say, we will go for it, not gung-ho, not stupidly, because I don't think we have. If we had, we would have scored a lot more goals, right? We've established that. We will play the way that that And wants us to play. We will press where we have to press. We will close down the pitch in certain areas so that we can free up other areas. This is the way that Ange plays. Let's do that because he has proven that wins. I don't care what league it's in, okay? Players are players, they're human beings. So, do I believe that we're going to go and do this all this season? Absolutely not. We're going to take a few windows, but I'm jumping ahead. The point is, let's do what your... let's follow your MO, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I actually agree with what you say, but I'll use one last thing here, and I'll like, what if? And I'll go back to the what ifs. I like them; they're good. What if it doesn't work? His strategy in the first 20 minutes, and we go 2-3-0 down? Does he have to change it then, or do you go no? Just carry on doing what you're doing. That's the question.
So I believe that he will, because as I said, he's not an idiot. I believe that he will tweak it.
No,
and
of course
he
he's
will,
not.
He will look for vulnerabilities because that's what him and his coaching staff do, and especially the football data analysts who are there analysing what's happening. And he will look for these vulnerabilities and he will make certain changes and hopefully they pay off. That's the game of football. You know, I can't say what is going to happen in a what if scenario, which has endless.
No, we can't because we don't know what the future. Man City all of a sudden could go down with a virus, and then all of a sudden we're playing their academy, and then all of a sudden we win 3-0.
That would be
and
great.
We're all going crazy. If buts maybes, as the phrase says, if my mum had a dick, she'd be my uncle. So, like it is
Does that
what
mean
it
she
is.
was fucking? He'd be fucking your dad? I'm so confused by that statement.
Sorry, what is it with sex on this podcast?
You just brought it. You just said if your mom had a dick.
Yeah, if my mum had sorry. I meant if my auntie had a dick. Sorry, I got that. I messed that up.
I don't think that's any better.
Sorry, I meant to say apologies. That I messed.
1 minute.
That
So
one.
is your auntie your mother? So your
sorry,
dad
it
is
should
sleeping
be-
with his sister, and you're the product.
This is all gone weird. No,
It-
it's
Wow.
if my
So
mum had a dick,
Man.
she'd be my dad. Sorry, yeah. But anyway,
Jeez.
ignore that.
It's all
Ignore that
incest to
analogy.
Perchy.
It's all gone a bit weird. It's all gone a little bit weird. But listen, it is what it is. We don't know what's going to happen. I just don't want to get humiliated and listen because the problem is
I don't think
we
will.
need to get out of a bad run form.
Mate, I don't listen. Do I believe that we're going to lose? And that's 4 games in a row. Yes. Is it like Eccleshare, for instance, on View from the Lane, where he made such a great point. If you don't listen to that podcast, you really should. He goes, is it like the end of the world if you lose 4 games in a row? No, it's not. It happens. Okay, it happens, and hopefully you can come out the other side stronger. Okay, so am I super worried that we are going to lose 4 in a row? No, I'm not. What I would be worried about is if they do lose 4 games in a row and they don't learn from it. But again, we have a manager who, under his tutelage, hopefully won't allow that to happen. It will happen to some players. Let's not make any bones about that. Some of the players in this squad will be like, they will start to feel sorry for themselves.
Yep.
Okay? Because guess what? They're human beings, and that's what happens. And then it's down to the management team to spot that, either try to fix it or eradicate it. Okay? That's what's going to happen. So, Johnny, you're saying that we're going to thrash City, is that correct?
Oh yeah, 2-1
Arena?
victory. 2-1 victory.
Wow.
This is Tottenham. Fuck them.
You know what's funny, right? Is that it doesn't matter who the manager is. We beat him in the last few seasons, which I find.
Yeah.
I find it really funny.
Nuno beat him. Why can't we beat him? Jesus Christ.
He did.
Because
And
Nuno plays terrorist football like the other lot. That's the reason we beat them.
Well, you got me there.
That's literally the reason. We sit 11 men behind the ball and then hit them on a counter attack. Like it's different, isn't it now?
I mean, so here's the thing, and I think James kind of touched on it, but I'll reiterate what he said. We've all been involved with projects at work, in our personal life, what have you. If we go out in a project, if it goes smoothly and we finish the project, there was no hiccup, there was no issue, we always wonder, that wasn't right. Something's not right here. Something's not clicking. I'm missing something. There's always that caution whenever something doesn't go, whenever there isn't a hiccup. In a season of as long as it is, there's going to be, I mean, especially this is his first year, there's going to be these hiccups. There's going to be these 4 or 5, maybe even, who knows, fucking 6-game stretches where we just lose, or we might win, but it's an ugly victory. We didn't, that's how, I think that's how Ange, because he's a beautiful leader more than anything, I think that's how he gets the buy-in through those frustration points and through that growing point and that growing pain. And that's how he also shows his leadership, i.e., Mr. Levy, who he has to invest his money in to get new players, right?
I agree.
So maybe this is a good time for us to have a bad stretch to say, listen, my friend Danny boy, let's fucking invest in January and get some more defense and get a little more tacky. Players. You know what I mean? So maybe this is a good thing if we get completely humiliated. I just hope that if we do get completely humiliated, whatever that looks like, that the fan base doesn't completely shift on Mr. Ange, because I think that would be where I would lose faith.
No, John, do you know what? You've actually nailed it. But this is everything, by the way, this is everything I said at the start of the season.
Wait. Are we agreeing on something, Perchy?
No. You're absolutely spot on. But this is everything though I was saying when everyone was getting really, really excited. We're going to win the league. No, well, hang on. It's a project. It's a build. We're going to take a long time to get there. That's why I feel like I haven't changed my position. I said all along this season's going to be a roller coaster. We're going to have some big highs and some really bad lows, but it's all about staying on the train and
the journey. Isn't that what James said last time? And you didn't agree with him.
Huh? I didn't say I didn't.
We got the receipts, haven't
journey. I agreed with it. What? Hang on, what? I agreed with the journey.
I'm just shit stirring.
I know you are. I know you're just winding me up, and it's not going to work. Listen, I've said it all along, but I think it's going to take 3 years to get to the level that we want to be at when it comes to reinvesting, because we don't buy players and the quality of players quick enough to do it. We're going to get there. But listen, we'll get there. We've got the right manager for the job, so we'll get there.
Good. So, last question, and then I am off to bed because it's 1:22 a.m. and I've got an early start
12
tomorrow.
For me. It's now.
I've got an early start, which is in a few hours. So, yeah. Do you want to read out that question?
Last question.
Is it gonna make us laugh?
Well, it might. Not a lot of debate, I don't think. It's a very quick one.
All right.
From Taylor. I don't know if that's a man or woman. Thank you, Taylor. In Wood Green, UK.
Yeah.
Big up Wood Green.
That's right.
Johnny, can I just say, so Wood Green, I grew up, for those of you listening, I grew up in Palmer's Green. So I grew up in a place called Hedge Lane, which goes down to the Great Cambridge Roundabout. I grew up right at the top. So Wood Green was literally a bus, the 329 bus away. So well done, Taylor.
Fantastic. And for future pods, if anybody has any questions, submit them to @MuddyBackyard. That's me, @MuddyBackyard. I won't have to explain what that has to do with. So from Taylor in Wood Green, UK, 3 people: Adolf Hitler, Genghis Khan, Matty Cash. Marry one, kill one, fuck one. Go.
Oh, I'd still fuck Matty Cash, you know.
Wow. Yeah, but then at least you'd throw your body down the fucking stairs.
I don't think she would. It was his dad that she would do that, not for him.
That's true.
Yeah. So
would you roll around on your back for Matty Cash then? Yeah.
Hannah, do you want to just reiterate what you? So you've got Hitler, Genghis, and Cash.
Right. What was the actual question? Marry one.
You got to marry one. You have to kill one. You have to fuck one.
Oh God. Well, Hitler only had one testicle. That doesn't appeal to me.
Really?
That's the parameter we're thinking here. What?
Don't act like you weren't thinking about Hitler's balls.
That's
ball,
the rules.
I mean,
a ball.
Did he really have one testicle? That's new to me. I didn't know that.
That is true.
Yeah, but he could have had a giant cock.
Well, to make up for things. Oh yeah.
See, you don't know. You've
thought about this more than I have.
Well, no, I didn't. You threw a wrench in my head more than anything. He could just have a giant cock and one ball.
Oh, sorry, this is mental. It's late.
Perchy, you're going to have to answer this anyway. So
I'm not.
You are, mate. You're going to have to answer it.
I would. Yeah, I'd have to kill Hitler. Acting like that was a hard choice. It looks like I'm marrying Genghis Khan, doesn't it?
Sorry,
Yowza.
this is what has happened here.
Yeah, but the thing is, I sort of agree with marrying Genghis Khan. Do you know
I
why?
admire the tenacity.
Well, do you know? I mean, you'd be set up for life, right? I mean, you'd have a lot of land.
Right.
Put it that way. I mean,
You'd get raped all the time, though.
Oh, great.
No, he wouldn't allow his. Well, he would allow his horse to rape you. Yeah.
Oh.
See?
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that video. I don't know about this actually.
Yeah. So you wanna marry Hitler with one ball?
He was vegetarian
cock.
though. I don't think I could deal with that.
Yeah, but he took a lot of methamphetamines, too.
How do you not know this? Where have I been living? Other than Hedge Lane in Palmer's Green. Honestly, how do you
Are
not
you
know?
not more concerned that I'm just bothered by the fact that he's a vegetarian and that's why I wouldn't marry him?
Yeah, and she would marry him because he does meth.
This is the hardest question I've ever been asked.
I think it's most you've ever thought of any of the questions asked by our beautiful listeners so far.
I think it tells you a lot about what I think about Matty Cash, though. So
I think it does. That's a good point. So I'll answer while you're thinking. So
okay.
I would kill. No, yep. I would kill Hitler. I would marry Matty Cash. And I'd fuck Genghis Khan.
But that means that your surname then, if he's the man in
Johnny
this
Cash,
relationship,
that's
is
right.
Johnny Cash, right? So,
Now you know why.
No way.
you've walked the line with that one. Boom, boom.
There you go. Good job.
Perchy, what about you, mate? Hannah, we are coming back to you, so yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I nearly fell asleep. Sorry, what's happened? I'm going with the same as Johnny. I'll go with that one. Yeah.
He's phoning it in. He's given up. He doesn't like
my
our
head's
listeners'
scrambled.
questions.
I am going to marry Hitler. I'm going to. I mean, look, I'm not that way inclined, but when you're going to have sex with Genghis Khan, you're having it
Right.
with him and his 700,000 troops.
Exactly.
His 1.4 million horses, and you probably get some of his concubines thrown in for good pleasure. So at least
time.
I'll enjoy that bit. Do you know what I mean? It will go on for a few years. It'll be one of those moments in life where I look back and I go, okay, that really did happen. But I would take pleasure in killing Matty Cash. I would. And so yeah, that's what I'm going with. Hannah, are you decided if you're
Okay.
marrying Genghis Khan or Adolf Hitler? I mean, it's an easy
Okay,
choice.
no, I'm
Right,
going
what
to
you
marry
doing?
Genghis.
Right.
I'm going to kill Hitler. And I just found a message I sent earlier that I would still shag Matty Cash, but until he has a cardiac arrest.
Are
Oh.
you giving him a cardiac arrest, or you're shaking
Yeah.
him while he's having a cardiac arrest?
I don't really
what are
care
the
at this
details?
point.
Right.
Just pump him full of the magic blue pills and give him one.
Guys,
No?
I think that's the end of the pod. It's been a long pod. 82 minutes. Wow. Okay. Well, look, we're looking forward to City, right? I mean, that's what we've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
match. Good match.
Right, so we're going to be with you next Tuesday, and you can follow us at Hotspur Way Show on X, and the rest of the guys are on there as well. Head on over to hotspurway.com. It's a nice little site, better than the pod. And what else was I going to say? Oh, leave some reviews.
Leave some
please.
reviews. Give us some stars. Give us a
Yeah,
5-star rating. Leave reviews.
Because like there's no real reviews on there. There's only one that's telling Ross what he should tweet with regards to the Simpsons stuff. I mean, that's really boring.
Yeah, make
You
it
know,
make
you-
it 5 stars and then write your stupidest joke.
Yeah, exactly right. So look, this is a Spurs adult podcast. I mean, if you've got this far in and you haven't realised that, then this is the podcast for you. And so what you need to do is you just leave us a really fun review, something that's really saucy, and Johnny will read it out. And
There you go.
Yeah, Perchy
Yes.
will get you a T-shirt at some point as well because he's famous and rich.
I'm not famous.
You're very famous. I mean, you've got how many subscribers now?
We're at 11,000. Hang on, I'll double check actually.
Yeah, like he didn't.
11,000. Yeah, exactly.
11,956. We're 44 away, which we are actually we get to 12,000, we are giving away a random football shirt to a random.
Do you know how many followers I have? I've got
Make sure
six.
you go over there at Football Heritage TV on YouTube.
Yeah, I've got six, and so yeah, you're famous compared to me. Okay, that's what it is. So
Big up.
yeah, Hannah, say goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. It's been a pleasure.
It has always. And Johnny,
I love everybody, especially Perchy.
we all love Perchy.
Yeah,
See
no,
it-
thanks, guys. That was cool. I like that one. That was
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Cool. We're still recording. I mean, you can say goodbye.
I know
if
we
you
are.
want. Oh,
Still
right,
can
okay.
say I like the pod. The pod was
I
cool.
know, but it sounds like you always said the same thing whenever we stopped recording. You say, "Oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's
But
really
also,
cool."
it's
I
the
mean-
first one that me and Perchy have been on together.
Yeah,
Is it really?
it is. It's the
Yeah.
first of me and Hannah.
Oh yeah, which means that you are not the same person.
Yeah.
We've cleared
Wait,
that
what?
one up.
Ta-da.
Who set that rumor up?
No, because like you just both weren't ever seen together. You were never on the same pod. It was really suspicious that as soon as you went off, Hannah came on.
Oh, I see.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah. So Hannah, how have you found Perchy?
Oh, I love Perchy.
He's
Oh,
great. Isn't
thank you
he?
very much.
Yeah, and I like how you back down a little bit when I speak to you. I really enjoy that.
Do
Scared
you know
of your
what?
authority.
He does, doesn't he?
He's intimidated by your woman strength.
Lady strength.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm off to bed. Well, I'm gonna have to produce this first, but then I'm off to bed.
chat.
So, everyone, fuck off. See you next week. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Peace.